Hello everyone, welcome to Cherish Yoga. Today we are doing a practice for arthritis. So if you have stiff, achy, sore joints, this is going to be a perfect practice for you. Even if you don't know that you have arthritis, but you kind of suspect it, this is a perfect one for you. You don't need anything, so you can just find a comfortable chair, find a little bit of room to move, and then we'll get started. Okay, we're going to start moving right off the bat, and I'm going to chit-chat with us while we move. We're going to draw circles with the nose. So our focus today, we're going to keep it moving. We're not really going to hold any poses for too long. We're going to keep it moving because when we're thinking about arthritis and when we're dealing with arthritis, the more we can move our joints through a pain-free range of motion, the more it's going to help us loosen up those stiff joints. It's going to help us relieve pain in those joints. Let's go ahead and reverse that circle. We have fluid in the joints called synovial fluid, and when we move, that gets released, and it's almost like a lubrication for the joints. Now the second part of that is we want to move, but the second part of it is pain-free range of motion. So this, more than any other type of condition that we deal with, let's go ahead and look to the front. We're going to take the ear to the shoulder on one side, and then the ear to the shoulder on the other side. More than any other condition that we deal with, we don't want to push through the pain. A lot of times when we feel pain, we just think no pain, no gain, and we keep pushing. But when we do that with arthritis, we can actually cause more damage to our joints. So we're not going to do that today. And I know some of people tell me all the time, well, I hurt all the time. So I've changed what I say a little bit. Instead of no pain, I would say just no more pain than you usually feel. We don't want to push, we don't want to create any additional pain. And if you can find a space where it's pain-free, stay in that zone. It might mean making your movements smaller. It might mean go ahead while I'm talking, open and close your jaw. I know this is a crazy one, but we're moving through all the body today. Open and close the jaw. So it might mean making your movements smaller. It might mean only doing maybe one side of the body and not both sides of the body. It might be doing just the arms or just the legs. So make it work for you. The goal is to move through pain-free range of motion. That's our goal today. Good. Now we're going to take one shoulder. We're going to begin to draw circles with that shoulder. And our joints are anywhere the bones come together. So we're going to think about, our goal today is to move through each of our major joints. We also want to strengthen the muscles around those joints, so we are going to be doing some strength building movements. And we need to strengthen the muscles so we can really support those joints. Let's take the hand to the shoulder now. We're going to draw circles with that elbow. Moving with intention here. The goal is not just to whip out some circles. Make this circle as large as you can. Again, pain-free range of motion. Thinking about what your elbow is doing. Completing that circle all the way around. You may find that your spine begins to twist with that movement. That's perfectly fine. That's actually good, so we can start to get some movement in the spine. Now we're going to open up through the elbow, full arm circle, making this circle as large as you can, taking those fingers all the way around. I always like to sync up the breath, so maybe an inhale as you bring the arm up, and an exhale as you bring the arm down. Again, modify when and where you need to. It might be that this is about all your shoulder can do today. That's fine. Modify. Make it work. Good. We're going to switch to the other side. So let's start with that shoulder circle. If you do have arthritis, one of the best programs, the Arthritis Foundation has developed an exercise program. Go ahead and take your hand to your shoulder and then draw a circle with that elbow. And finding a class, an arthritis class, an exercise class for arthritis can be helpful to kind of keep the body moving on a regular basis. And you probably know this better than anyone, but getting in the water can really help ease the movement and ease the discomfort. So you can find aquatic classes for arthritis, maybe at your local YMCA or a local community center. Good. One more time around. We're going to open up through the elbow this time, full arm circle, allowing that spine to twist with us. Okay, now we're going to start to incorporate the spine here a little bit more. We're going to take the hands forward. We're going to interlace the fingers, pull those hands forward, pull the chin down to the chest. As the hands come forward, the heart pulls back. Taking our time here. Now we inhale, arms overhead, maybe allowing a slight arch in the back. Might be small, we're just starting to move here. And then the hands reach back and we open those circles, make a nice big wide circle with the arms. And we take the hands forward, curving through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale it up. Palms up. And open the hands, open the arms. One more time. Inhale it up. And palms up. And release down. Beautiful. We're going to do a little side sweep here. We're going to take one arm up and over through the side. So now we're getting our spine to move in a side-to-side motion. You can drop the arm. You don't have to add the arm if your shoulder's getting tired, if it needs a break. Now we're going to take that arm up and over. We're going to turn the upper body toward the leg, and then we're going to melt the upper body down over the leg, releasing everything in the upper body so we can release the upper back. We're going to come around the bottom. Good. And then we reach up and over to the side. And then we turn toward the leg, releasing down, melting down over the leg, sweeping across the bottom. And one more time. And then we're going to go to the other side. So we come up, we start with these big side sweeps up and over. Good. Up and over. Now this time we melt down over the leg, allowing the upper body to become relaxed and loose, and along the bottom, and up and over the leg, melting down along the bottom. One more time. Good. Now we're going to come on up. Okay, so we're behind the chair now, and we're going to move into a flow, which is just when we move with our breath from one position to another. First time through, we're going to take it nice and slowly, though, so we kind of get a feel for each of these positions. We're going to inhale, arms up. We're going to exhale. Let's bend the knees. We're going to exhale, release everything down toward the ground. Good. This is our forward fold. We're just starting to get here. We don't have to make it anything huge. It can be, you can have a big bend in your knees. You can only go part way down. Good. I like to move a little bit, especially when I'm first getting into a pose like this. Now, so I bend one knee and then the other. Now we're going to come up halfway. This is a flat back. Again, I'm keeping a bend in my knees. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that here. We're going to keep our elbows in at our sides. Looking straight down at the ground. Now we're going to release back down into our forward fold. Now as we come up, go ahead and grab the chair, step your right foot forward. We're coming into a lunge. And then if you'd like to, you can add some arms. So maybe take the hands to the heart or maybe arms overhead. Good. So just in this movement alone, we've got the toes working, we've got the ankles, the knees, the hips, the shoulders. Good. And then we're going to step the back foot in, bring the arms overhead, and then exhale, hands to heart. Good. We are going to step it back so we don't bonk our head on the way down here. We're going to inhale up, and then we're going to exhale down again into our forward fold. Releasing the neck so the head is just kind of hanging here. It's nice and heavy. And we come up to a flat back. Hands come to the thighs. Elbows are in. We release back down into a forward fold, releasing all the way down through the top of the head. This time we're going to grab the chair. We're going to step forward with the left foot into a lunge. We've got both knees bent on this lunge. And then you might want to add some arms. You might take your hands to your heart. You might add your arms overhead. You can always do one arm. You can always leave the arms on the chair. Step the back foot in, arms up, and exhale, hands to heart. Good. We're going to step it back as we inhale up. This time we move with each breath. Exhale, release it down toward the ground, all the way through the top of the head. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, grab the chair, step the right foot forward into our lunge. Exhale, add some arms. Inhale, step the back foot in, arms come up. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's step back and do that again. Inhale up. Exhale, melt everything down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release down. Again, keeping a bend in the knees here. Inhale, grab the chair, step the left foot forward. Both knees are bent. Exhale, arms. Inhale, step the back foot in, arms come overhead. You might just bring your arms in front of you this time, if that feels better on your shoulders. And exhale, hands to heart. Here we go. We're going to do one more time on each side. Inhale it up. Exhale, release everything, melt down toward the ground, keeping a bend in the knees. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, grab the chair, right foot forward, bending both knees. Exhale, add some arms. Inhale, step the back foot in, arms come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Last time, stepping it back. Inhale. Exhale, release it down all the way through the top of the head. Inhale, up, flat back. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, grab the chair, left foot forward. And exhale, add the arms. Inhale, step the back foot in. Arms come overhead, or maybe they come in front of you, and then exhale, hands to heart. We're going to stay here. This is our mountain pose. So we're staying here. Now we've got our feet, we're rooting our feet down into the ground. So if you imagine roots even shooting down from your feet, that helps to build strength in the legs. Okay, you can also, one of my favorite tricks is to imagine spreading the ground apart with your feet. So we've got strength in our legs. We're imagining a string is pulling the top of the head toward the ceiling. Good. Now we're going to release the arms to the sides. We're going to find a little movement in our fingers and wrists here. So to begin with, let's make gentle fists with the fingers. You can even bring them up in front of you if that's easier. We're starting with these top knuckles, almost like a cat's claw. Curling it in. Not making a strong fist, just a gentle, easy fist. Good. And then we're going to circle the thumbs. Good. Legs are still strong here. And then reverse the circle with the thumbs. Good. And then finally we're going to circle the wrists. You can even do figure eights with the wrists. Good. Okay, we're going to take the chair in front of us this time. We've got kind of a combination movement. I'll move my chair in just a second, but you'll want to have your chair in front of you because we're going to be going from side to center to side, back to center. Okay, so I'll move mine out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. So the chair is in front of you. We're going to start by turning to the right. We're going to have both knees bent on this one. Okay, and as we come into this position, we're going to tuck our hips under just a little bit. I've got all 10 toes facing in the same direction. Okay, and I'm tucking my hips under. This is another visual I like to use. The laser beam coming out of the belly button, and you're going to point that laser beam up. Good, so we're building a little bit of strength here. Now let's push into the ground to straighten the knees, and we exhale, lower. Again, modify this. If this bothers your knees, don't go down as far. You can come up and just barely bend the knees. Okay, we're still engaging the leg muscles doing that. Good. Let's do one more. We're lowering down, and we're going to take this back leg. Remember, you've got your chair here. You're holding on to it. You're going to take this back leg, turn that knee all the way out to the other side. This is a goddess pose. This is going to open up our hips. We're finding some movement, some rotation in the hips through this. Now we're lowering slowly, reaching our knees toward the back wall to open up the hips. And then we press into the ground to come up. Good, here we go. We're going to lower again. This time we're going to turn the right knee. We're going to turn that in, which is going to shift us around toward the left and into this crescent lunge. We've got both knees bent. Both feet pointing in the same direction, tucking our hips under slightly, and we hold here. You've got your chair right to your side now. You can keep a hold of the chair. Now let's push into the ground to straighten, and exhale and lower. As we do this, we're building strength in our legs. Here we go. We're going to bend both knees. We're going to take the right knee. We're going to turn it all the way out, coming into this goddess pose again. We push into the ground to straighten. And we exhale and lower. Good. You've got your chair in front of you you can hold on to. Now, you don't have to have your legs this far turned out. You can turn them in and have your bend here. Okay, if that feels better on your hips. Let's go ahead and we're going to bend the knees again. Let's take the left knee, turn it in. We're coming back into this crescent lunge. Good, and this time we're just coming in and out of it a couple times to keep the hip moving. Turn that left knee out. Right knee turns in into our crescent lunge. Right knee turns out, and then we're going to push into the ground to straighten. Beautiful. Walk your feet in, and guess what? We're going to sit down and we're going to rest. We're going to do some relaxation. Anytime we're dealing with any kind of a chronic condition or chronic pain, it's so important to learn coping tools or coping exercises. So one of the things I like to incorporate is relaxation exercises. And we're going to do that right now. We're going to sit back in our chairs. We're going to close our eyes. Allow the body to begin to calm down. As you exhale, releasing any tension you're holding. Begin with your toes, and as you exhale, release any tension. Moving up through the body, up through the ankles and the legs. With each exhale, releasing and relaxing those areas. Up into the hips, the lower back, the core area, the chest, the shoulders, down through the arms, the fingers, the neck, the jaw, the forehead. Scanning back through, noticing any areas where you still feel tight, still feel sore and tense. Then as you exhale, allowing your body to soften in those areas. Now as you inhale, think of a word that represents something you'd like more of in your life. Maybe it's peace, joy, calm, family, friends. Every time you inhale, think of that word. And then as you exhale, think of a word that represents something you'd like less of. Could be stress, worry, pain, depression, anxiety, fatigue. And as you exhale, think of that word. So we inhale, think of the word we want more of. We exhale, think of the word that we want less of. This time as you inhale, feel the breath traveling throughout your entire body, all the way down the arms and legs to the fingers and toes. And exhale out like you're blowing out a candle. Again, full inhale. This time allowing the body to begin to move gently, maybe in the fingers and toes, maybe the neck, the shoulders, anywhere that feels good. Sometimes just moving the hands up and down the legs a little bit can help to wake the body up. Sometimes it's a little stretch that feels good. And then we're going to slowly blink our eyes open. We're going to take a big inhale together. Let's take our arms out to the sides. We're going to exhale, arms across. Inhale, arms out. We're going to exhale, hands to hearts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to come back and revisit this practice anytime that you need to move. Even if you don't do this, just finding movement every day through your joints can be such a huge help. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.